the world. Get the real story, raw and unscripted. On Sundays, Zola lets the dogs out. Rolling with Zola. Sundays at E is for everyone.
Played in front of capacity crowds, released chart-topping albums, and are even considered to be icons of the local music industry.
Expectation is the mother of disappointment.
But which one of these rockers can rock out like no other?
The standards are getting higher and higher.
Join us as we count down 2011's biggest rock acts.
You just got to sound like you do.
From breakthrough artists to those who celebrated a decade in the music scene.
More people know you by your stuff. Take your photographs.
Ask for your signature. Throw bras at you.
This is the Showbiz Report's 10 biggest rock acts of the year. We start the countdown with a group that seems to thrive in the Afrikaans market. A King lands at number 10 in our countdown of 2011's 10 rockers.
It's weird when we tour a little bit because even though it's an English band, the market is predominantly, well, the live market is predominantly Afrikaans. So in a situation where you sort of, talking to fans or just interacting with people after the show, everyone will be speaking Afrikaans, so, that's sometimes a bit weird.
In 2011, A King released their highly anticipated follow-up to their Sama-nominated second album, Against All Odds. It's called The Red-Blooded Years.
Some of the stuff's harder, some of the stuff's prettier. I think we'll just expand on what we've tried to do in the previous albums. Obviously, it's a new addition to the band, so I think it'll be definitely different and fresh.
And speaking of new and fresh, the band also seems to have adopted a different aesthetic for the music videos off this album.
Usually our videos are quite serious. I don't know why, but that's how it sort of just came out. But we wanted to change it up a bit, maybe make it a bit lighter, get sort of more of a humoristic twist to a video.
Well, whether or not that vision will materialize in future projects remains to be seen. And while A King are 3 albums in, our next spot belongs to an artist who most have thought of as an unlikely rock star, but still managed to release his debut album to critical acclaim. It's Jon Delinger. He is the first to admit that a lot of his fans are surprised to find his face attached to the rock genre, but for Jon Delinger, this isn't necessarily a drawback.
I do a bit of rock, like, no, it's not possible. Yeah, are we seeing right, or is this like probably 3D or something is happening? So it's kind of like that vibe. It's because also I was exposed to a lot of rock at an LA, you know what I mean? So the rock melodies always had. It came through my ears all the time.
Jon first caught the attention of the industry when he participated in 2002's Ethno Music Festival in Sweden. He's since performed at a number of leading South African music festivals, but in 2011 he released his debut offering, Never Walk Alone.
There's a lot of unrest right now happening in Africa and all sorts of things. And how does a child in South Africa dream to be successful, or they only dream to survive? So Never Walk Alone for me was, if we can reach to those children. Because to me it's very important, because I've seen also my struggles, and people have handled me, they've walked with me up to where I am, and that's why I'm glad I've got Storm Records also on my side. You see, it's a weird combination though, and then I'm signed with an Afrikaans label. that's very, very beautiful.
The album has since gone on to become a critical success, no doubt thanks to Jon's unique approach to the genre.
I want to probably put my genre to world music in a way, but it's got rock elements into it. I've been throwing a bit of Malawian vibe into it. I've been throwing a bit of Xhosa into it, just to leverage the fact that, you know, I'm an African, but I love rock. And I want to just bring a bit of elements of rock into my African sound.
And from Afro pop rock to something a little more alternative, the number 8 spot belongs to Boo, who reunited after a 6-year hiatus to bring fans the three of us. To say their loyal fan base is eclectic would be somewhat of an understatement.
5-year-olds love our music and 65-year-olds love our music, where a guitar can be very offensive to people that are younger and older, especially distorted guitar and stuff like that.
So it came as no surprise that their latest album, The Three of Us, received a 2011 SAMA nomination in the Best Alternative Album category.
The song is called Three of Us because it's a I, myself, me kind of, you know. My cherry left me and now it's just me, myself and I. It's like that. But the album is called The Three of Us because it's the three of us.
The band recorded their album in the Netherlands and have performed extensively throughout Europe. And although they're used to fans booing at their performances, they say some international audiences take a bit of getting used to.
You don't adjust for the audience, but you adjust yourself because you know the Belgians and the Swiss are going to be... And then you're like, they hate me, and then afterwards there comes like, that was very nice. And the Croats and the Italians and the Dutch are like insane. Like,
yeah, they go, yeah! And I am still trapped here and I,
myself and me. So what can we expect from the eccentric band in the future?
Expectation
is the mother of disappointment.
Well, one band that has also been around for quite some time is a group that decided to showcase a more stripped-down sound in 2011. It's the Cape Town-based Taxi Violence. Ever since their 2006 debut album Untie Yourself, it seems as though fans can't quite get enough.
For so long, people have actually asked us, where can I get your album? And we've always had to tell them the same story, we sold out, we sold out.
In 2011, the band decided to change things up and give fans something a little different from their signature sound. That earned them a 2008 SAMA nomination for Best Rock Act. It's what the band calls modern vintage.
It's got that old school vintage type of sound, but it's still a modern adaptation of old stuff, basically, and that's where it comes from.
We've always been influenced by the old and retro rock and roll, like Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix, and we've always loved that kind of vintage sound, and we've tried to like incorporate it into, you know, what has become the Taxi Violence sound.
Well, to be more specific, the Unplugged album comprises mostly of reworked tracks from the band's 2 previous offerings, Untie Yourself and The Turn, along with 3 new songs.
We wanted to try something that nobody's done before, and I think it suits the album, and especially the name of the album, Long Way From Home, which for us, the acoustic set or the acoustic versions is something that's not necessarily in our comfort zone.
We've stripped them down and reworked them because we didn't just want to play them with an acoustic guitar, exactly like we usually would play them. They're new songs with old lyrics.
So that's 4 acts down, with 6 more to come. After the break, we resume our countdown of the Showbiz Report's 10 biggest rock acts of 2011.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, you bring on the joy. Bring on the joy. When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world smiles with you.
Rimmel London's new Day to Night Mascara with Magic Double Cap for 2 different lash looks. Choose length, lashes look stretched and defined. Choose volume, up to 15 times fuller looking lashes. Double the magic. New Day to Night Mascara from Rimmel London. Get the London look.
Fat free. no sugar added. The new improved Parmalat Fabulite yogurt. No compromise.
Parmalat. Hey, at least you won't have to pay motor excess.
Sorry.
Virgin Money. Insurance like it should be.
Thola amabili waphudu ifonini yakho manje umajoyina thola i-ringtones yamahhala SMS-ela uclip u-31314 joyine manje ngabe usedubeni lokuwina 10,000 rand cash SMS-ela uclip ku-31314.
Revving up your engine, listening to the howling roar. Metal under tension, begging you to touch and go.
What a precious hair color. So unbelievably shiny. And mine?
Try the richest palette coloration. New Deluxe with 7 precious oils. Nourishes especially right down to the tips. Best cared for, luxuriously shiny, long-lasting color. The new Palette Deluxe. Schwarzkopf. Professional hair care.
For you. New Palette Deluxe Intensive Oil Care Color. Only at Clicks.
On E! Tonight at 8, rising above all odds, Gridiron Gang.
Go out there and take what's yours.
At 9:30, Get Lucky, live lotto draw. And after the 8 p.m. movie, Seek the Truth, Courage Under Fire.
She gave her life for those men.
E is for everyone. Be free.
Welcome back. Just in case you missed out on the countdown so far, we kicked off with A King, followed by experimental rocker Jon Delinger at 9, the more alternative Boo occupying the number 8 spot, and Cape Town-based Taxi Violence finding themselves at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is a group that consider themselves to be both progressive and alternative. They are the Blackjacks.
People can name it whatever.
They might essentially be known as a Johannesburg-based rock band, but the Blackjacks themselves are yet to define their sound.
I don't know what kind of music we do. People can name it whatever. You know,
it's fine. I mean, it makes it easier for writers to write. So the fact that we're being labeled as whatever we're being labeled as, it changes from time to time. But we're comfortable because we are comfortable with what we are doing.
In 2011, the group developed their sound once again by collaborating with legendary South African trumpeter Hugh Masekela on the track The Boys Are Doing It.
World Cup opening ceremony, he invited us to his backstage room. We hung out, and then he was like, yeah, we should do a song together. And then we were like, how about The Boys Are Doing It? And he was like, you like this, how do you know that song? It's not like this. Yeah. Like, no, we'd love to do this one.
So they might not necessarily describe themselves as a rock group per se, but they're not afraid to act the part when it comes to those backstage requirements.
The main thing is stage. If we don't have what we asked for, then we flip. I mean, we can have like chips or whatever. Cool drink or water is missing backstage, but if it starts messing with what needs to happen out there, you know what I mean, then it becomes an issue. So we kind of always have to be sharp. Execution is pivotal, vital. Sharpness, you'll never go wrong with sharpness.
Whether our number 5 rocker also requires sharpness on stage is unknown. Former embarked on a solo career after his band Tree 63 disbanded in 2009. It's singer-songwriter Jon Ellis, and he seems to have a pretty good idea of who he is.
Here I am, a white 30-something guitar-playing South African singing songs about how I feel. I think there's an honesty and a rawness that these days is people want to connect with something real, you know, because we are surrounded by so much artificial stuff. So I'm all about opening a vein.
It's been this way since I was a kid.
Well, no doubt his honesty featured in his debut solo album, Come Out Fighting. The offering garnered a Best Rock Album nomination at the 2011 Summers, alongside the Parlotones, Zebra and Giraffe, and eventual winners, Prime Circle.
I'm a river that flows away from the sea.
But unlike many a rocker before him, it seems Jon isn't too attached to his instruments.
I haven't named my guitar, but I've named a few other people. The car owes me money, manager, no guitar name.
And as for 2012, Jon and his anonymous guitar are expected to produce an acoustic album.
I plan to release a solo acoustic album, acoustic guitar and songs and one microphone, and just perform these songs the way it was done 50 years ago. To try and capture the essence of a song, you know, rather than color it with too much production.
And while Jon is just starting out as a solo artist, number 4 on our countdown belongs to a rocker who celebrated a decade in the music industry this year. It's Karen Zoid.
I can't believe that it's been 10 years.
And in those 10 years, Karen has achieved commercial and critical success with gold certified albums and Best Female at the SAMA Committee in 2008, amongst countless other accolades. In 2011, her 5th album, Terms and Conditions, received a Best Adult Contemporary nod at the SAMAs.
I think with entertainment and with music, it's all about hiding your shortcomings and overemphasizing your strong characteristics. So, you know what I mean? I was never going to be a ballet dancer, so I'm not going to be able to look as good as Arno Carstens when I jump up and down. But I think I play better guitar than he does, so I sit at home and I practice.
Well, no doubt all that practice came in handy during Karen's 10-year anniversary tour, which played to sold-out venues around the country. And of course, it can't hurt that a loyal fan base named the Zoid Generation will be there to fill the seats.
As I've grown older, I have become more aware of the audience, because I've got an audience now. When I started, I didn't.
In 2012, Karen is expected to play a number of international gigs and will reportedly release her first ever full-length Afrikaans album. Stay with us. After the break, we reveal who made history in the music scene this year, and of course, we unveil our pick for the biggest rock act of 2011. It's all coming up after this short break.
Before you color your hair, stop and think. What if you could protect your hair as you color?
Excellence Creme from L'Oréal Paris. The first revitalizing hair color with Pro Keratin.
My hair feels stronger, silky. My color has never been so radiant. And grays? What grays?
Excellence Creme with Pro Keratin, the world's #1 hair color from L'Oréal Paris. Introducing the new Supreme Blacks and Browns collection from Excellence Creme. Radiant color for a rich, natural look.
Because you're worth it.
Enjoy 5 days of Christmas gifts at festive prices from 2 to 6 November. Save 40 Rand on a Wahl Home Pro Basic hair clipper set, now $89.99. Club card members buy 3 and only pay for 2 on these Safeway kettles, toasters, irons, or sandwich makers, only $99.99. $99 each. Or buy 3 and only pay for 2 Velour beach towels. Only $99.99 each.
There's too much. Oh, in this small world, everything you dream. Oh, you want Picanto. I want it all. I like it. I want it.
You can have it all in small. All new Picanto.
That's the dream I want. I want to be a doctor, and I want to be a husband, and I want to be a father, and it's all because of you. I'm serious.
Hello? Oh, Jose, move to your left. I can't see the TV.
Move a little bit more to me.
Get your own. Subscribe to Top TV and win your share of 99,000 Rand a week. Get up to 62 channels. Packages start at just 99 Rand a month.
Drop the act, baby doll. Wait, what?
I vowed never again to date a guy who wears suits.
I will stop wearing... Wait for it.
You know you're going to say suits.
Suits.
How I Met Your Mother. Sunday at 7:30 on E!
Welcome back. We are 7 acts into our countdown of the Showbiz Report's biggest rock acts of the year, and we are about to reveal our top 3. So onwards and upwards we go with a band that could also be considered a brand. They've attached their name to everything from fried chicken, laptops, and even a boutique wine range. Throw in a couple of local awards and opening for Coldplay, and our number 3 belongs to the Parlotones. If you're wondering how the Parlotones became such a bankable brand, it might have something to do with that signature look.
Probably for the last 5-6 years, we've always worn red and black. And we might spice it up with a different jacket or whatever, but it's always been the red tie with a version of a black outfit. I think it makes us uniform, and it eventually becomes an identity and a brand that the 4 of us are associated. People know, that's the Parlotones.
Well, those red ties form part of the band's red carpet look at the 2011 Summers, and after taking home 3 trophies, the group jetted off to the USA for a 14-state tour in support of their first acoustic album, Eavesdropping on the Songs of Wales.
More people know you by your stuff, take your photographs.
Ask for your signature, throw bras at you.
Well, we're not sure what they were given after forming part of the theatrical rock production Dragonflies and Astronauts, but the project was labelled a world first. The Dragonflies and Astronauts storyline, set and characters were derived from some of the group's greatest hits and was broadcast around the world in 3D.
We always had the big dream, and I think the dream hasn't been achieved. I mean, for us, it's about, playing stadiums around the world, and about, our faces being on the cover of big international titles around the world.
Coming in at number 2 is a band that made history on the South African music charts earlier this year. It's Die Heuvels Fantasties.
In Pretoria, we are massive.
Well, no doubt that helped the band achieve what no other Afrikaans rock band has. Their second album, Voltaire, reached the number 1 spot on the top 20 album sales chart.
I think the only reason why they made a hoo-ha about that is because bands like the Parlotones have been number 1 on the sales chart, and this was just the first time an Afrikaans band did it. But I think in terms of trying to be successful in the music industry in this territory or any for that matter, You just got to sound like you do. You can't sound like a knockoff of some other group or whatever. You just got to try and, I don't know, create your own sound. And if that's the premise and good songs are the premise, then I think you'll be all right.
The band's success might also have something to do with their loyal online following.
Pierre, our vocalist, runs the Facebook and the Twitter, you know, the social networking pretty well. I definitely think that has got a lot to do with it. The awareness, you know, there's 110,000 people on who like our Facebook fan page. So what, like 20% of those people bought CDs today.
In 2011, the SAMA and MK award winners also teamed up with hip-hop star JR and Afrikaans rapper Jack Parow for the hit The Show Goes On. The collaboration also undoubtedly added to the band's growing fan base.
There's a certain kind of person that you maybe figure, okay, they've probably heard some of our tunes or whatever. But then when people, either old people or, you know, like people that really you don't think they listen to Afrikaans music, they recognize you. It's disturbing. It's like, wow, okay, you really know Yevils? You really do? Okay, cool, that's great.
The show goes on.
But our number one position in the Showbiz Report's pick for the biggest rock act of 2011 is a rock band that has dominated the local airwaves and even embarked on a European tour in 2011. It's the five-piece outfit, Prime Circle.
Let's start time. See way back when before, when the chaos wasn't quite so hard to bear with anymore.
With over 40,000 copies of their latest album, Jekyll and Hyde, sold, it's clear that Prime Circle have a loyal fan following. The platinum-selling offering was also named Best Rock Album at the SAMAs earlier this year, beating out the likes of the Parlotones, Zebra and Giraffe, and The Narrow.
We fight over it to see who gets to take it home. And that's always something to put on your mantle. You want people to come in, you want people to see it.
Well, the group has even more trophies to show off thanks to their win at the 2011 MK Awards. This time they were named as the Best International Breakthrough Act.
It's always cool to be nominated. It just shows the recognition that we are, you know, like, the work's paying off and people are recognizing us as a band. And it's always cool, you know, it's nice to see what we're doing is people's listening to it.
Part of their 2011 international breakthrough came in the form of a European tour, which saw the band play gigs in Germany, the Netherlands, and Norway.
One just look into the future, hope this compromise. Hope it all works out and they can.
And despite playing alongside